Welcome back, and today we're going to talk a little bit about some things happening on the island of Boracay, about some of the violators, and we're going to go ahead and talk about that right now. The much publicized closure of Boracay in April of 2018 came as a big surprise to many. They thought there's no way that the president's going to go ahead and close the island of Boracay. And guess what? He went ahead and did. And did a total cleanup of the island. There was a lot of problems. There was violators putting pipes with dirty water and sewage onto the beach. There was buildings encroaching to the ocean. There was even Manny Pacquiao who built a resort on the ocean. All of it had to go. All of it had to go. It had to be wiped out because all of it was in violation. The beautiful island of Boracay has gone through 2 years of cleanup and it's still being processed. There's areas of the island that was forest land or ancestral land, and people went ahead and sold that to other people, and people believed that that was a good land, that was clean. And there was a lot of complications and problems. Business permits were being issued in lands that should not have been permitted. There was some complications, that's for sure. And about a year or two ago, the government went ahead and put violations of notices on all these different buildings. Mount Lujo was one, and there's a forest land and wetlands. All these lands that violators, they went ahead and put notice of evacuation and tearing down the structures. But the people who own those structures didn't believe that the government would actually take action. They went ahead and took these notice violations, signs and things down. They threw them away. These people thought there's no way the government's going to enforce these rules and regulations. And about a few weeks ago, they went ahead, the government gave a 15-day notice of evacuation. And the NBI, I think it was, went ahead and arrested 10 Filipinos and foreign nationals. And they went ahead and said, evacuate this land. We told you so. And a lot of the owners were renting their villas out for small money, just trying to squeeze every centavo out of their property. It was kind of all wrong. And then some of the people who were owners, they're yelling at me saying that the government had no right to do what they did. But actually the government went ahead and gave everyone 2 years of notice, and they went ahead and thought that it was their property. So in a way, some of these people got tricked. They bought land from people who shouldn't have sold this land. So there was a lot of scamming going around, and a lot of people lost a lot of money. The government went ahead and gave this notice that these buildings must be self-demolished. You must self-demolish your own building. That's a tough one to swallow. And a lot of people weren't doing that. So the government went ahead and took the passports away from especially foreign nationals and probably Filipinos. And they went ahead and when they self-demolish, they're going to give a bill to the owners of that land. It's not going to be free. So it's really a bad situation for the owners especially. So the bill is expensive. It probably costs like $25,000 or $50,000, $1 million or 2 million pesos to just demolish this. So the people lost their land and they get a big bill by the government if they don't self-demolish. So the whole thing is really bad for lots of people. And it just was really a shame, and people were pretty mad. And in another area, I think it was like the wetlands in Manok, they went ahead and they delivered 350 of these notice of violations, the 15-day evacuation notices. And if those people don't evacuate in 15 days, maybe the same thing will happen to the people in Manok that happened in the people of Mount Luho. They will come in and maybe make a few arrests. They gave these owners like 2 years to self-demolish, and I think the people just went ahead and said, oh, forget it. They're going to go ahead and forget me. But guess what? They did not forget you, and they're not going to forget anybody, especially if there's a notice of violation. And they went ahead and gave the 15-day notice to the 350 people in Manok, and they better get out of their land. They had lots of time to self-demolish it. They make these rules and regulations for public safety, and also there's new requirements, there's new guidelines to enter the island of Boracay, and part of it has to do with like taking a swab test and taking a COVID test. They want to stop the spread of the COVID. They want to make sure that people who enter the island do not have COVID, which is a very good idea. People on the island don't want COVID coming on. So these group of people, 4 girls and 2 guys in Manila, local, probably Filipinos, they went ahead and had the testing done, 1 person. And once they got the results, the paperwork, they actually like somehow duplicated it or did some kind of duplication, and they all shared the paper. They maybe changed the numbers or something. And they went ahead and got on Boracay Island. And the government goes ahead and cross-checks those people. They went back to Manila with their test results, and they found out that 1 person had that test, and 5 people did not, and they had the paperwork. So they went ahead and went back to Boracay. This happened like December 5th or December 6th, and they went ahead and kind of arrested those people, took them to Kalibo, quarantined them, made them pay for the quarantine, and they filed a case against these violators. So the moral of the story is don't do that. Just go ahead and follow the law, follow the rules. If you have to take a swab test or a COVID test, take that test and then just go ahead. But do not forge or duplicate or try to cheat the system. Public safety is the #1 thing that they want to do, because what if one of these people had a serious case of, let's say, the COVID, and they went ahead and got on the island and started spreading the COVID all over the place? So that's a big trouble, and that would, because the people in Boracay have worked very hard to keep the COVID off the island, and then you have somebody cheating the system, or people wanting to infect people, let's say, with the COVID, sneaking on the island and trying to spread their diseases all over the place. So this is a big problem, and we should not do that one. The moral of this blog is just go ahead and follow the protocol, the procedures. Don't try to cheat the system, and everything will be okay. So just go ahead and do the right thing and follow the guidelines, the protocol, and everything will be good. And you can enjoy Boracay Island and all over the place, but just go ahead and try to have some consideration for the people. That would be a great thing. And we have other videos here you might want to enjoy of Boracay Island. It's a beautiful place, so come and enjoy the island of Boracay. So please like, share, subscribe, and always ring that bell.